In the past week, there have been dozens of YouTube videos looking closely at Gemini 2.5 Pro from Google and comparing it to other LLMs used for coding, like Anthropic's Claude Sonnet 3.7 and earlier 3.5, which I've been using for months and absolutely love. And there has also been a lot written about Google's latest effort and comparisons. This article is fantastic. It goes into some real world examples that take about 8 minutes to read and a little longer to watch the videos, comparing reasoning and knowledge, which is important for coding, especially, and doing things like one-shots, which is you give Gemini Pro 2.5 a prompt and see how far it can get without any nudging, with any revisions. I'm going to try to do the same thing today in a simple example that's in my code. And the example that I'm going to show you is comparing a revision to a menu in this application I've been developing for some time that's in production and has lots of users. And in a nutshell, the header component lets you mouse over the help and see some of the subpages beneath it. And so if I go to About, I see the About page, Features, Getting Started, etc. And then if I click here, I go back to Home. Now the search page, it just basically links to home. So if I go to, for example, daily activity, click into April, I'm in daily activity, but if I want to search by something else, I have to click back to home and then choose whatever I want to search. Whereas with help, I can dig right in. So two things. I want to reflect where I am when I'm in help. So for example, if I'm in what people say, this should both reflect where I am. So this should display up here. And likewise with search. So if I'm searching under, let's say, a surface location, it should show me that here I'm searching by LSD, legal subdivision of land. Now, I created a prompt to do just that. So revise header.svelte, and I'm giving it quite a bit of detail. So this should make it easier both for Claude 3.7, which I'm going to try first in a branch I created specifically for its attempt, and then for Gemini Pro 2.5. Help drop-down menu, item help should display the current help routes page when not on the home route page, right? So I won't read this for you. It's kind of boring, but here I give it actually quite a bit of help. I show it that the search routes are these, and the help routes are these. And actually, one mistake I did make here, let's revise this page, or on the search routes or map routes, because actually map routes are part of search. All right. And now how are we going to get, in the first case, Claude 3.7 Sonnet to attempt to do this in a one-shot? Let's switch to that branch. And we're going to go to Klein. This is my favorite VS Code plugin for connecting over MCP, Model Context Protocol. You can look that up on YouTube. It's a fantastic innovation that was released by Anthropic 2-3 months ago, and everyone's caught on and now using it. It's basically, it's a API standard for LLMs to talk to other things, including other LLMs, databases, web services, etc. It's like a USB Type-C for AI, one connector for them all. Now, we are going to use Claude in Klein. And so I have my model selected here, and we're going to just have it act. So I'm going to copy this. And by the way, normally when I'm using LLMs in coding, I end my prompt with, VS Code doesn't let me do that. Here, let's just copy this and we'll paste it in here. I normally do this. Do you understand perfectly my intent, 100% confidence, or do you have clarifying questions? Reason for this is that these LLMs, even today, are trying to please you. And if they're not sure, they guess. And often the guesses are good. They're even better than you expect, but not always. So to save time and avoid regressions, I normally ask this, but we're not going to do that here. We're going to try to one-shot this with a reasonably good prompt and fairly well documented source code. And we're going to time Claude. So we're going to look for quality and quantity. Okay, so start and let's go. And this is what I love, is being able to watch it think. And in the case of Claude, because I'm using the paid API, we're seeing also what I'm paying for it. And in the case of Google Gemini Pro 2.5, I'm using the free version, which means every day or so I get a limited number of usage. I think it's tokens per day or responses per day, something like that. And so we can see, interesting. And are we done? Okay, it says it's done. All right, let's here we'll stop. Okay, this is a one shot, so it did that in 53.8 seconds. Okay, all right, so that's a drop-down menu. Not bad. Let's go to about. Okay. Features. Wow. All right. Honestly, I didn't expect it to get it right this fast and this well. Okay, one thing I will nitpick, it's not respecting the capitalization format that I wanted, but let's not get too picky. Okay, so what people say. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Let's go back to home. And now did it do it for active wells? Okay, so it did active sour abandoned facilities daily. And then it did, interesting. So it didn't get all of the search. Okay, so it failed there. Interesting. So there's no actual search route. Now, if you look at the way the code is structured in SvelteKit, I have a page group that has sort of a dynamic routing system that accounts for all of these kinds of searches here. So this is a challenge, and it failed in this one respect. Otherwise, pretty good. This part looks almost done. I'll clean up the capitalization, but this is, yeah, so. The maps it got correct, and even on the map page, it's reflecting the exact route, sour gas wells. Very nice. Very nice. These are all sour gas. Yeah, H2S, H2S. Okay, let's try Gemini. So we're now in Gemini 2.5 Pro, or Gemini Pro 2.5 header. Let's bring back our stopwatch and our prompt. And we'll go to Klein, and here we'll switch to Gemini. Got our API key, Pro Experimental. Interesting, it says does not support computer use, but it does. It is agentic. Maybe this means something else. I don't know. And yeah, so let's paste that in. Same prompt, different model. Click Start. And here we go. One thing I've noticed is the API request part of it takes a little longer in the beginning. I'm not sure why. It's warming up the model. But then it's pretty fast. And it's telling us what it's planning to do. So we don't get to read its thoughts yet. Okay, interesting. It's found some differences, some inconsistencies. I know this is about Gemini Pro 2.5. It's detail oriented, and I like that. Okay, so it's making a few mistakes, but it's catching itself. Okay. And it says it's done. Wow, in about the same time. Not that that really matters too much. We're still under a minute, so I would say it's, yeah, all good. All right, let's see what happens here. So if we go to about, hmm, features. Now, one thing it's doing, it's adding a trailing slash. Okay. Now that there we go. So that is actually, there is a little bug in the version of SvelteKit, or maybe it's my encode, that has to do with adding trailing slashes, and I've been struggling with it for a while. I'm not going to dock marks for Gemini Pro 2.5 because I don't think it's responsible for this, but it's now working pretty good. Now let's go back to homepage and see if it got search. Interesting, it did the same thing that Claude did. It intuited search and advanced search. Okay. But in terms of active, so it's not showing active wells up here. Sour gas, nope. What facilities? If I hit reload, so I'm not sure why it's not doing that. Okay, this is also failing for the same reason. It's not an actual route, it's a dynamic route. Okay, amazing. I didn't expect it. Claude 3.7 wins this fairly modest challenge. And it is real world, though. Now, this was a one shot. Let's see if I can nudge it. And let's continue our stopwatch. Okay, so whatever it was, 56 seconds, a minute. Okay, you're absolutely correct. I love it when the LLMs tell me that I'm right. Okay, and okay, it's doing things. It's doing that long-running API request. I hope I don't run out of tokens. One other thing that's amazing about Gemini Pro 2.5, it's got a 1 million token context window. Claude 3.7 Sonnet is around 200,000. A lot of them are run out at around 200,000 tokens. That's like words in the conversation that you can have with them, both input and output, although there's some variation. And that makes a huge difference. It means that in the case of Gemini Pro 2.5, it can read more of your source code and you can go back and forth with it longer. Okay, there. Okay, so another minute. It says it's done. Let's see. We go to active. Oh, there we go. It's getting it right. Oh, and it's also changing my capitalization. What is it with them? They hate lowercase words. Okay, so that's good. Let's go to facilities. Okay, not bad. Daily activity. And if I dig in, okay, so this is actually a point that I think we can fix in seconds. So a sub page, it's not matching that route. I go back, it does. This is where a developer is really important. You know, AIs and LLMs, they're not going to replace programmers. They're going to make us more effective and productive, at least if we're using them well. And that's why I'm sharing this with you. So, you know, I can see this right away, and so can you. It's just a question of route depth. Now, if we go back to search, that's also broken, and that might take a little bit longer. But at this point, Claude 3.7 Sonnet and Gemini Pro 2.5 have achieved roughly the same results. Gemini Pro took an extra minute with an extra nudge, but I'm not going to dock it any marks because what's a minute? So in a nutshell, that's two of the best LLMs as of April 4th, 2025. Thanks for your time. I hope you learned something. I know I did. Have a great day.